Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to TPO Live. It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. This is our Sixers versus Hornets post-game show. The number one team in the NBA, that's right. Feels so good. Took down the Charlotte Hornets tonight, 118-101. Tonight, we're going to talk about our top takeaways. We're going to talk about the player of the game and grade today's performance. Joining us today is my man, Justin. Follow him on Twitter at J_Persichetti. What's going on, Jay?
What is up, everybody? Listen, you can't ask for more when you say the Sixers right now are the best team in the Eastern Conference, best team in their division. Like, listen, they're best team in the NBA. You can't ask for anything much more than that. And the fact that tonight, Joel barely had to do anything, and that's something you would never see last year in the sense that Joel only had 14 points and we got a W by more than, what was it? What was the score again?
We beat the Charlotte Hornets by 15 points in game one. Yeah. We beat them by 15 points in game one, 16 points in game two, total of 31 total points in 8 quarters against the Charlotte Hornets, who I think look like a scrappy fringe playoff team, and I was really impressed. Also joining us tonight is my man, Rob Lange, the voice of the people, at Philly_Madness on Twitter. What's going on, Rob?
After spending a full day of anger and irateness and wanting to punch everyone in the head, it was nice to be able to smile watching a team in this town, as this team has done for us in all but one game so far. Hey, I'll take it, man. It's time to move into happier times, and Sixers are helping us out with it.
They really are. 2021, baby.
You do not approve the Roseman conference. The Howie Roseman press conference.
Let's see how he does.
Yeah. All right. Lastly, joining us today is the handsome one. He is Tiago. Follow him on Twitter. What's up, Tiago?
How are you guys doing? Yeah, I mean,
I love that his title is now the handsome one.
My wife saw him the one day. I was like, "Oh, who can?" Wow! I was like, "Yo,
we don't need to do this now. We can do that." What I was gonna say is any win that we're one in the third quarter, and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna have for dinner tomorrow. That's a good win. So I'll take this win for sure. Absolutely.
All right, let's get into our top takeaways, guys. My top takeaway is defense. This team came into the game the number one defensive efficiency team in the league. What I wanted to see in this game compared to Saturday night, you looked at Terry Rozier putting up 35 points on 12 of 18 from the floor. What did he put up tonight? A lamb performance of 3 of 8 from the floor, 29 minutes, 12 points, nothing. The Sixers defense really started to gel, I think, when Joel Embiid was inserted about halfway into that second quarter, and Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons just shut it down defensively. It was just an absolute dominant performance. Yes, the Hornets scored 101, but man, it was just scrubs. The third string from the Sixers in that fourth quarter. I was just absolutely impressed by that defensive performance tonight from the Sixers. Go ahead, Justin. What was one of your takeaways?
One of my takeaways was the efficiency of this game in comparison to last game. And I'm not necessarily talking about the efficiency from the field goal percentage and the 3-point percentage, because that did drop from last game. But I'm talking about turnovers. Yesterday, we turned over the ball more than 20 times, and today it was only 10. So that obviously is going to make a big difference in the game. We did shoot 34% from 3, which realistically is not a terrible percentage for a team. But considering we are now used to a team shooting like 45% from 3, it's a little bit of a difference. But overall, we played a little bit cleaner of a game today on the offensive end when it came to turnovers. So that's one of my biggest takeaways.
Awesome. What about you, Rob?
Well, I said it when I hopped on with you guys. When you play a team back-to-back and you win the first one, it's tough to get back up and to do it again, just 2 nights later. And I expected this game to be much more of a struggle, to be honest with you. I thought the Sixers were probably going to win, but I expected this one to be one of those tight into the fourth quarter, have to win in the last few minutes. I mean, as you guys are all saying, it's a second straight game where fourth quarter came and we're like, all right, Joe, you go rest. Right. Every starters go rest. Tyrese come in here and show everybody what a 19-year-old can do. Vincent Poirier come in and piss Rob off because you're not Tony Bradley.
Even this guy got game time, like even Paul Reed got game time.
That's what me and Doc, the next time I see him, which will be never, I'll ask him. But no, look, you're seeing a team that is not even fully comfortable with each other yet gel to the point where Joel Embiid has 14 points and they win a game by almost 20 points. Yeah. And that's special. Like, that's a thing where in years past, if Joel only scored 14 and Ben didn't have a monster game, you sat there and said, well, where are the points coming from? Tobias looks comfortable. I thought Danny Green looked much better tonight than he has shooting the ball. I thought his shot looked a little bit better early on. And for example, Seth Curry, I was in and out. I was interviewing a babysitter earlier, but it wasn't like the Seth Curry game that we've seen early on in this season. Yeah, it was atrocious. Don't get me started. Man. A Zoom babysitting, meeting where I literally sat there and watched my wife do all the talking. Went, sounds good.
Listen, Rob. This is a post game of the Sixers, not of your interview with your babysitter. Listen,
Justin, if you know the voice of the people, we talk about everything, anytime. That's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. But back to the Sixers, very, very impressive win. To sweep the back-to-back here. And you're going to start having some tougher opponents coming up on the schedule, so I'd like to see him, keep the momentum going.
Man, it's good times for everyone, especially Steven. My wife may be giving me game time again. Let's go! Let's go! Let the good times roll! Jesus. Steven's coming up on tonight again. What up, Tiago? Which one of your takes?
Sixers Charlotte on a Monday night, man. It gets freaky. I thought you guys all touched on it. I thought that what Rob was saying earlier, it looked like it was one of those really tight games early. I think Hornets had about a 4-point lead early in the second quarter. And I thought that the way that the Sixers came out of the timeout with the starters, so Tobias, Danny, that whole group, and they came out after that timeout and they just poured it on to Charlotte. I mean, they ran up and down the court, played phenomenal defense. Tobias was doing his thing. Danny Green was doing his thing. And they turned a 4-point deficit into a 10-point lead, just like that. Yeah. And again, it's what we've been talking about. At that point in time, it was it's game over. That the team needs business. And, that was the start of the night. It was the starters just turning it on and really pouring on to Charlotte in that second quarter. And I came into the game thinking about, how are the Sixers going to stop Terry Rozier? I think, Chris, you said he scored 35 points. He was all over the place last game. And I thought Danny Green kind of announced himself into the season tonight. I thought he was phenomenal, chasing Terry Rozier off screens. If you look at the box score, he finished with only 8 shot attempts. That tells me that Danny Green was engaged. He was denying the pass. He wasn't allowed to take easy shots. And that's the Danny Green that we expect to see this season. The really good defender, hits open shots. And, the shooting still is going to come with time. But I thought that tonight, Danny Green really did a phenomenal job on both ends.
I think to say with that, Danny Green, that kind of performance defensively is something that you wouldn't have seen in years past where guards would always just go off on us, especially guards like Terry Rozier. And so it is very encouraging to see something like that happen.
Yeah, I mean, the Sixers have tremendous players that can chase guys off screens, and he's just another one of them.
Yeah.
There's so much to like about this team. This is a very likable team from Ben's defense, from Joel just dominating, getting so many touches down low, from Tyrese Maxi looking like a little young Allen Iverson, to Dwight Howard's presence on and off the court, from Tobias Harris being unlocked by Doc Rivers. That is my player of the game, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Tobias Harris, since the season opener, is now 17 of 32 from 3, 53%. This guy was just named Eastern Conference Player of the Week, putting up around 22, 23 points. I've just been blown away by his offense. Most importantly, though, this guy's defense. And I've been blown away. Justin, who is your player of the game tonight?
My player of the game, and I know everyone's going to be saying Tobias Harris, but Ben Simmons looked really good today. Although he didn't look amazing when it came to getting to the rim at times, he missed a lot of easy layups. To me, the assists, the rebounds, that's what matters to me. He only had 6 assists because some people weren't hitting shots as efficiently today, but 10 rebounds on the game. He also played really well defensively today. It may not show up in the box score as much when it comes to steals because he had no steals. He had 1 block. But the amount of deflections I saw this game was what I was seeing. Very active on the ball, very active off the ball, and that's what I love seeing about the Sixers and about Ben Simmons. So I'm going to say Ben Simmons is my player of the game today.
Rob.
I mean, I just don't like going with the same guy, so I always think of a unsung hero. And I'm going to go off the bench, and I'm going to go Dwight Howard because what I saw from Dwight Howard tonight was an offensive rebounding clinic. And,
yes,
and he kept possessions alive, and this was even when the game was close that he was doing that. And I know he's got to finish some of those dunks, but I just love the energy he brings off the bench. And I think part of it is we have been dying for that backup center to not make us basically, get so nervous when Joel Embiid goes out of the game. And to see him just dominate on the glass like that tonight, I think plays such a valuable role for this team. And it's, it kind of builds the momentum even more when you're able to do things like that. And he defends well on the other end. He's a rim protector. So your guys are probably by far more player of the games, but I'll go with Dwight Howard to be different.
To piggyback off of that real quick, when you were saying about offensive rebounds, we had 14 offensive rebounds this game. Like that's really good. And we out-rebounded them. We had 55 rebounds overall, and they had 46. So that just shows the difference that a guy like Dwight Howard makes to a team like this instead of having a guy like Al Horford as your backup center.
Yes, sir. All right, let's go to Tiago.
Yeah, so Rob, to your point, I thought Dwight did something that was really important. So, Charlotte countered that Dwight lineup by going small. And they did that last time, and they really burned the Sixers last game. And I thought tonight Dwight his way of responding was like, listen, if you're going to go small, I'm going to attack the glass and make you guys pay inside. So that was a way to kind of put a monkey wrench in Charlotte's plan. And it worked. Like PJ Washington can't hang with Dwight inside, period. No. And he had a bunch of open looks in the paint. So I thought it was nice to see Dwight kind of, make him pay for that. But my player of the game we got to start talking about Tyrese Maxi, man.
Yeah.
It's like
Mad Max.
It's starting to look like they got a real big time player, man. Maxi came into the game second in rookies in points per drive, which is a big deal because he doesn't play that much. But now you're talking about adding that shooting to his game. So he hit 2 3-pointers today. I mean, that changes the conversation entirely because now guys have to play up on him at the 3-point line, which is going to free up a ton of driving lanes for Maxi. So it's going to make his points at the rim easier. It's going to make passing off the drive easier. So him showing that range and that confidence and ability to shoot off the catch is a absolute game changer for Tyrese Maxi. And I thought that tonight he was phenomenal. He was absolutely everything that you want out of a guy who I have high hopes for. But again, only 19 years old. So absolutely a phenomenal game for Tyrese.
That steal and take to the rim, like that reminded me of just such a young Allen Iverson. That was a sexy play. All right, let's go to Tiago. My man, Tiago, how would you grade the Sixers' performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought that overall it was a solid B+. I thought defensively, again, absolutely shut down. They limited turnovers, which limited Charlotte's scoring on the other end. And offensively, it looked clunky in the beginning, but I thought they settled in. The ball movement continues to be phenomenal. They lead the league in passes, and it's showing why, and it's showing, where they're getting their shots from. So I thought overall it was a solid B+ effort.
Rob.
I'll go with an A- because I do agree. I think in the beginning it was a little clunky, but not only were they able to get over that, but then they just took total, absolute control of this thing. And as Tiago said, he could start thinking about dinner for tomorrow night because he didn't have to worry about. I mean, like, I feel like in the past couple of years there are only a handful of games in the fourth quarter that we didn't have to worry about the outcome. It's already happened a few times this season, and that, yeah, and that's exciting to me. And that's why, look, you got a team, we were joking about it early. Daryl Morey put it together in a couple days, and they're already playing, and I understand that the competition isn't great, but you beat a Raptors team who was up big on you.
Yeah.
You beat a Washington Wizards team who's a fringe playoff team this year. This Charlotte Hornets team is scrappy. They're a scrappy group. They're a scrappy group. That's 4 of your 6 wins right there. So I got to give them an A- just because I love the continuity that's already there, and I'm just excited to see where it can go as they build even more of that same thing.
What about you, Justin?
I'm going to give him an A- for today's game. I think one thing that I gave him a B+ yesterday, and the reason why I'm giving him A- today is they adjusted. Yesterday, they had a hard time on boards. They were letting Charlotte get a lot of offensive boards, and today it was the opposite. Yesterday, we had 45 boards rebounds. Today, we had 55. Yesterday, we had 7 offensive rebounds. Today, we had – I don't remember what it was, but today we had more than that. we played well in that area, and people still stepped up. Even though some people were missing easy shots and some people were missing looks from 3, we had other guys stepping up this game. So overall, I'm going to give him an A- for today.
I'm going to piggyback off of that. A- for me. Like even Seth Curry had just a meager 11 points. But if you watch the game, it's so obvious how much that guy impacts the offense on the floor. It looks just a little 11 points, but he does so much more for that offense. I'm just so
efficient.
Ball handling. I'm so impressed by the spacing he's giving Ben and Joel. He just has such a presence.
Seth Curry gives you the shooting ability of a JJ Redick, but the athleticism that I don't want to just from a ball handling standpoint and a driving the lane and dishing that JJ, it wasn't the strong suit of JJ Redick. It's not a knock on him. That's just not what his strong suit was. And like you said, Dives, even when he only scores 11 points, he's impacting the game because you need to know where he is at all times. But it's not a matter of, well, we just got to guard him at the 3-point line. No, you got to guard him everywhere. And that's hard on a defense. It's really hard.
Yeah, I think this is key. This is key right here. And not obviously not talk about the Eagles 2017, but the key thing is that there's so many different people to guard right now.
That was me throwing the white towel at the Eagles.
I'm going to take it off the screen so Rob doesn't have to think about the 2017 Eagles or the Eagles at all. But I think the key here is that this team is no longer, if you stop Joel, if you stop Ben, you're losing the game. This team is a team that's capable of spreading the ball, capable of multiple people killing you offensively and defensively. And it's refreshing to see that. It's refreshing to see your star not having to be your star every game. And I think that's what makes a winning team.
Yeah, who knew that adding guys who could dribble and shoot, 2 fundamental basketball traits, would really help this team be amazing.
Wait, Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons need guys who can ball handle and shoot around them? 2
basic fundamental skills to play basketball.
What?
And I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see because to what Rob was saying, Seth can shoot, man. So you got to run right at him. And Seth by no means is like a dynamic ball handler, but he takes 1 or 2 little dribbles off that. And the defense is like all over the place. And guys that run everywhere and it's open shots everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah,
thank
we talked about that.
Thank you, Daryl Morey, for adding dribbling and shooting to our amazing team here.
All right, let's roll on to plugs, man. Thiago, what do you want to plug tonight?
Yeah, so I wrote about Tobias. Make sure to check that out on the Painted Lines, the website. .com. Wrote about how he's processing the game much faster. So if you want to understand what that means, is make sure to check that out. And I do a weekly write-up about the NBA. So I pick one NBA topic, one Sixers topic, and if you want to understand what the college prospects are coming to this year's draft, I also pick one college prospect as well. So make sure to check that out.
Awesome. What about you, Voice of the People?
Well, after an hour of it uploading, it is now in the man Dives' hands. Voice of the People, episode 3 is there. Okay. It is my New Year's resolution episode. It was literally filmed in a garage in Sea Isle. Okay. I was in Sea Isle City. It was on New Year's Eve night that I filmed it. I got a high noon in hand. I was actually a little drunk. And by the way, at the end of the show, if you hear something fall, I knocked over my entire high noon that was remaining. But don't worry, I finished it. I got another one. So that'll be coming out here soon. Tomorrow night, a little special episode of The Madness on a Tuesday night. Jess and I had a long discussion, and we said we have got to end the Eagles season the right way. And the right way is totally ripping into that organization for a good hour. So I do not see me and Jess being happy tomorrow. I do not see us saying, oh, well, maybe next year. No, there's going to be a lot of anger and hatred spewed for 60 to 75 minutes tomorrow night, 8:30, right here. You can catch us live. Make sure you're commenting with us. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So that's all I got right now.
But Madness tomorrow night, 8:30. Make sure you check it out here at the Panelines YouTube channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when that show goes down. We'll also let you know if you go to that YouTube community section. We always put out our schedule. Justin, what do you want to plug?
Yeah, I mean, go follow me on Twitter at J_Persichetti. I post a lot about the NBA, NFL, MLB. You name it, I post what I want. So go on there, follow that if you'd like. Also, follow the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. Like he said, like Dive said, put on post notifications. We're doing these live watch parties just about every game so far. We'll see how often it does. The more you guys like this, the more you guys want this, the more we will keep doing it. So keep coming back. Go follow the Painted Lines on Twitter and Instagram as well. I help run those accounts. So yeah, just stay active. Go follow our accounts.
Yep.
Love it. All right. So want to say thank you to everyone here who commented. God, we got some money tonight. The love was being spread today, and I'm just so thankful. We have so many amazing fans and people that watch the games with us. It makes the COVID-19 thing just a little bit better. So everybody, thank you. Please be sure to like. Please be sure to subscribe. Follow my man Justin at J_Persichetti. My man Rob Lange, the voice of the people at Philly_Madness, and the handsome one Tiago at. Thank you everybody for watching. Stay awesome.